Welcome, 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 everyone. We have cut two today. My internet went berserk. I had no internet. My internet was cut off, which is why I was forced to interrupt my conversation with you. But I am back now. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I would like to continue my just started conversation on Neurographica. Hello, my name is Lana. Shalom. I'm a certified Neurographic instructor and coach. I'm a certified psychology of money trainer. So I am here today to discuss with you how you can use Neurographica within your coaching sessions, within your other integrative practices. We're here today to discuss what makes Neurographica an amazing tool to use within any of your sessions with your clients. What are the background? What makes Neurographica? What qualifies Neurographica for as a great coaching tool? Okay, that's what I'm here to talk about. This whole week we are going to talk about Neurographica as a coaching tool. So welcome to send me your questions. Welcome to send me your comment. You know, if there's anything you would like to focus on, let me know. That's what I'm here for, to answer any and all of your questions, okay? Let's start discussing about Neurographica. What makes Neurographica one of the best ways, questions I ask, and I enjoy answering it, is how is Neurographica a coaching tool? What makes it a coaching tool? Why, all of this stuff, okay? Let's discuss what Neurographica is. Last week, I actually gave you a session on the background of Neurographica, how Neurographica was created, the creator of Neurographica, Dr. Pavel Piskaryov, what are his qualifications that brought him, and everything that he knows that brought him to create such an amazing and effective, it's a very effective coaching tool. That's why it's Neurographic is one of the fastest growing method among psychologists, coaches, many kind of different types of therapeutic practices. We do not call Neurographic a therapeutic practice, so I'm very careful. It's officially a coaching tool, but definitely lots and lots of different types of therapists. I know somatic therapists, I know psychologists who use Neurographica as a very effective tool, okay? Let's figure out what makes Neurographica so successful. Why? What qualifies it to use as a therapeutic tool? As I mentioned, I'm gonna call it a coaching tool, okay, guys? Because therapeutic tool, you have to be an officially a licensed therapist, and people who are allowed to use Neurographica within their professional practice do not necessarily have to have a therapist. Hi, Yunichka. Nice to see you. Do not necessarily need to have a license as a therapist. Okay, this is very important to remember. Okay, what do you need to have? What kind of a license, what kind of certification you need to have in order to start using Neurographica as a coaching tool within your practice, right? Again, I know people who are somatic therapists, I know people who are psychologists, I know people who are certified constellations, right? The Hellinger work, constellation psychologists, people from all kind of backgrounds in psychology, in coach, people who are certified coaches, people who are not certified coaches, guys, and anybody and everybody can use Neurographica within their professional practice. All you need to do is to become a specialist in Neurographica. Once you have your specialist certification, the sky is the limit. Use Neurographica, okay? Why? What makes Neurographica such an effective tool? That's what I'm here. I'm going to discuss it with you now. Last week, if you remember when I talked to you, the creator of Neurographica is Dr. Pavel Piskaryov, an amazing, intelligent, highly, I would say, talented person. Pavel currently lives in, I believe now he lives in St. Petersburg. I know he travels between Moscow and St. Petersburg, and he travels in different countries also. But currently Pavel lives in St. Petersburg. Currently Pavel, when Pavel created Neurographica, he had background as a coach. Pavel is a certified coach, experienced coach. Pavel is a coach who is, personal coach. Pavel is a business coach. Pavel has a PhD in psychology. Okay, Pavel is a Jungian psychologist. All of you who ever watched my other videos, especially the pyramid of consciousness, I don't think it will be a surprise to you when I say this, right? Because we all know that Pavel created the pyramid of consciousness, which is fully and firmly based upon the consciousness theory by Dr. Carl Gustav Jung, right? Carl is a Jungian psychologist. Most of the concepts, most of the ideas within Neurographica are based upon Jungian psychology, such as archetypes, such as metaphors, such as consciousness, the role of consciousness, subconsciousness, and unconsciousness. A lot of all these terms, all the concepts within Neurographica. If you watch, I have a lot of intros. You have intros almost to all of the algorithms in Neurographica, all the certified modules in Neurographica, such as neurosketching, neuromandala. Guys, you will see I have a lot of open live sessions as an intro to those algorithms. They all utilize Jungian terms, Jungian psychology. That's what. That's why this method is heavily based upon those concepts. Okay, Pavel took all those concepts and really invested it when he developed the method. Okay. Another idea why this is a great coaching tool. Step one, okay, for all of those who haven't yet watched, go watch the video. It's called 7 Steps of the Algorithm. Watch the video, the first video within that topic, within those series, called Step number 1, setting your goal or setting your topic. And that's how we know is a difference, right? What's the difference between coaching and, let's say, psychotherapy? In psychotherapy, the sessions are oriented on the patient, okay? Whatever the patient's emotions are, whatever the patient's thoughts are. In psychotherapy, the therapist focuses on the needs of the patient as they are expressed within the session, such as emotions, thoughts, right? Whatever the needs are. What is the difference between this and the coaching? In the coaching session, we focus on the goal. What is the goal that the therapist wants to reach? Okay. In psychotherapy, patients come to express their hidden thoughts, hidden emotions. People, let's say, if other people cannot listen to them and cannot, or they have something that they feel uncomfortable sharing with others, that's what psychotherapy is for, right? We all know the cliche, right? Why don't you lay down on the couch and tell me what's bothering you, right? The couch as a main interior, right? As a main interior for the psychotherapist office. In the coaching office, the coach and the coachee is the word for the client, are both equally active within the session, okay? The cliche about the coaching sessions are questions. Coaches ask a lot of questions, and all of those questions are geared to allow, to help, to assist the client, the coachee, to come to the answer to the question, for their question, whatever the goal is, they come. In the coaching session, we focus on the topic. What is your topic? What did you come here for? What would you like to have? What would you like the outcome of today's sessions to be? Okay, when on my sessions, that's what I ask people, right? People come and I ask them. That's actually, one of the, I'm actually planning to do a series of coaching, what are coaching sessions, especially for people who are in the specialist course. People who enroll in my specialist course, they will get complimentary access to that course. But I'm planning to create a course, I'm actually in the middle of creating a course where we talk about what is a coaching session, what is it involved, what does it mean to be a coach, okay? It's really going to be like an intro. It's not like a deep program, but it's a nice intro. And I will, of course, the main part of the program will be what is coaching and how to use Neurographic within the coaching session, okay? So in the coaching session, the coach, in the beginning, we always ask the client, what is the outcome? you are expecting at the end of the session. Because we always bring the client to focus on the goal. What do you want to reach? What would you like to achieve as a result of the session, right? I had clients who would come to me as a coach and they would think it's a psychotherapy session because all they do is just talk about their emotions, their feelings. And yes, it's important, but within the coaching session, it's very important to learn how to shift the questions. That's why we ask questions. Ask questions, ask a client questions that will shift the focus of the client toward the idea of what do you want to achieve as a result of today's session? What is your goal? That's where we go, right? People come to the coaching session with an actual active, goal. Like I want to open a business, I want to buy a car, I want to buy a house, I want to, find a significant other, I want to have a child. No, we're not a medical field. We're not going to help people have a child, right? But we're going to help people focus. Focus on what do they want. Focus on how do they want to achieve their goal, okay? Again, all of this, what I'm telling you are components of a coaching session, successful coaching session. What I would suggest also to start with the Neurographica. Somebody is writing something from you, so I got a little distracted. When you use Neurographica as a session, oh, Amy, so nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I'm so glad you can see it. Yes, I had there was an internet issue, so I'm glad you came back. So it's very important to notice, right? In Neurographica, it's a coaching tool. We always focus on the goal. Whenever we go through all the 7 steps of the algorithm, the shift is always go back to the goal, okay? Yes, it's important for people to talk about the emotions, the underlying emotions. That's the reason why you can't reach your goal, let's say, right? For example, of course it's important, but we don't dwell in it. We don't just focus on it. We don't stop with just talking about our emotions and spend the whole, let's say, hour of the session on the emotions. That's not the goal. The goal is to work through the emotions, process them, right? The whole idea of the phenomenology, right? Or the reflection process that we heavily and actively use within Neurographica is to process your emotions, process the thoughts that are holding you back, whether there are limited beliefs and everything else. Neurographica is an amazing tool to allow you to do the processing on so many levels, right? Another way, Neurographica is so amazing within the coaching tool, as a coaching tool, because remember how we said that coaching is about asking questions? What is Neurographica? We discussed it. The first part, neuro, has to do with the development of the brain. Neuroplasticity, the amazing quality that the researchers have found that any human being possesses, the quality to adjust the way they think, the way they react to certain stimuli around them by refocusing or by changing the environment, right? The neuroplasticity actually refers to this idea that we're able to kind of create a new environment around us with a change of thoughts, right? With the change of focus. And when we draw Neurographica, remember, it's also a way we take a marker and we start drawing. What happens? Remember when we did the meditation on Friday, how I showed you that the meditation is an amazing way to bring focus to your fingers, the main body parts that you use within Neurographica, right? It could be your brain, right? Because you think a lot, but it's your hands, your fingers. The fingers are an amazing way. Why? Because the tips of the fingers contain the nerve endings. Those nerve endings is what develops the brain, okay? I am an educator of over 20 years, especially worked most of my experiences working with early education, early childhood education. And that's, if any of you have kids, you guys know this, right? Emphasis with children is always on the development, on using some sensory activities so that they would involve their fingers. Why? Because it develops, it stimulates the tips of their fingers, and that's where the nerve endings are. And it's directly related to the brain development. for children, the different types of sensory materials they touch, that's why children have to have something touching with their hands, right? They don't understand abstract things. They need to touch things, right? Little babies need to also, lick things, but that's not the stage we're talking. We're talking about touching fingers, fingertips, okay? Touching everything for children is important. It stimulates their brains. It allows them to process their emotions, their thoughts, their misunderstanding, right? If they don't understand something, if adults around them are trying to tell them something and they're not getting it, the way to do it is to allow them to touch something like Play-Doh, like do things with glue, cut up paper, different kind of paper, like tissue paper and different hard paper. The more difference, the better. For adults, by the way, this kind of therapy is also the best. But let's say there are people who are not so comfortable, like I personally don't like to touch glue. To me, it's like, right, I have a sensory thing with it, but I don't like to touch flour, right? Drawing is an amazing, more acceptable by most adults way to start, again, processing, allowing to process your thoughts, right? Your emotions, maybe some memories, maybe some experience that you went through with somebody or something that will allow you to transform, okay? First, you need to process all of those aspects of who you are, right? And then the transformation comes. This is the kind of the idea behind the phenomenology, the idea behind the reflection process that we heavily utilize within Neurographica, especially in the coaching field. And by the way, the basics course, everybody who took the basics course, if you ever took it with me or with other instructors, guys, another name for the basics course, this is how I like to coach, is self-coaching, okay? Neurographica is a coaching tool. That's how it was created by Pavel Piskaryov as a coach. He created it based on the idea that this is an analytical coach. Specifically, it's analytical because it's analytical. Let's talk about your thought. Let's talk about emotions. You see, similar to what psychotherapists do, but the only thing, we don't stop there. We do need to go through all the 7 steps. We need to make sure when we pass through the step where we reflect, and then we go to coloring, we add certain other elements such as a field line, such as the fixing, right? If you want to know more, go watch the series 7 Steps of the Algorithm. Neurographica is a great way to allow people to process certain experiences without actually necessarily talking about it in depth. Because when a person talks about it in depth, without actually processing and then going further, they kind of dwell in it, okay? They tend to refocus on it. They can't see beyond it. It's very important, okay? In the specialist course, we actually have one of the algorithms called the score. It's actually quite amazing. Based on the score, by the way, I developed a whole workshop called Trauma Release through the Neurographic Method. Yeah, the score algorithm will actually allow you to process trauma in a different way without actually going deep into trauma, which is all the trauma therapists, like one of the foremost SWOT expert, Dr. Peter Levine, he will tell you, I read his books, he says, do not talk about trauma, do not go into trauma. In order to process trauma, you do not need to go into trauma, right? I mean, I'm studying body dynamics now, same thing. In order to process trauma, you do not need to necessarily go inside trauma. There are other ways. Neurographica is a very effective tool as one of the ways to actually process trauma without actually going on the deeper side. It allows you to transform your thoughts. It allows you to transform your emotions. And it does so, if you remember the pyramid of consciousness, it does so because you're going into different layers within your consciousness, okay, guys? Again, a lot of more information, but I'm just giving you here a concise way to understand why Neurographica would make the best, amazing coaching tool, okay? If you have more questions about this, please do me a favor, please write to me, PM me, you can put a question as a comment under this video. Whether you're watching it on the Instagram, Facebook, or on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is called Lana Shalom, the same as my name. tons and tons of open live sessions, tons of open drawing sessions where you can get to know what Neurographica is like. Definitely everybody are invited to join next week, exactly in a week on Monday. Let me see what time. I believe at 1 p.m. next week. I am inviting everybody to come for an open neurotree drawing. Okay, we will draw the neurotree. Few reasons for the this open live drawing. Reason number one, it's a holiday. It's a special holiday called Tu B'Shvat. Tu B'Shvat is a birthday of the trees, and it's kind of a tradition for me. Every year on this day, I always draw a neurotree. So I'm inviting to join me this time. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful neurotree. This session will be actually as an intro session, so you guys can see what the specialist course is all about, because neurotree, although I'm not going to teach you in a conventional way, but you will get like an idea, you will get an intro of what the specialist course is like, because neurotree is one of the algorithms we learn at the specialist course. And also this neurotree will be an intro to the financial regeneration course that we are going to open up starting next Monday. So everybody feel free to join. Financial regeneration course is an amazing, amazing course. Yes, absolutely amazing course where we work through it's psychology of money course with the use of Neurographica. We're going to work through limiting beliefs. We're going to work with ancestry work, so many things. I will tell you more about the financial regeneration. I'm going to tell more about it this week, and next week we're going to focus on it primarily. I'm going to give a lot of psychology of money open sessions next week. This week we're focusing on Neurographic and coaching, as next week we're starting the specialist course. So if you are interested in using Neurographica as in a coaching session, even if you are a psychologist or a coach or any other somatic therapist, any other kind of integrative, field that you feel you would totally benefit from this course. By the way, I have a lot of students who are artists. Yes, you can be an artist and you can lead. The best part about becoming a specialist is that you have the rights to lead master classes, to do open presentations about Neurographica. So lots and lots of interesting content, okay? Neuro specialists in Neurographica will really give you the rights to do a lot of interesting, a lot of important ways to use Neurographica, not just for yourself. Remember, you can do it just having a basic certification. You are a self-coach already. You can take it and draw the ARL or ARI. The specialist course will actually not just give you 4 more tools, 4 more algorithms, actually gives you 6, right? There are 2 complementary ones, but it also will give you the rights to use the algorithms you learned in the basics course with your clients. This is very important. Tomorrow, I will be discussing how you can use Neurographica within a coaching field. I'm going to discuss how one can use anybody. Again, you don't have to be a coach. You can use anybody who wants to start using Neurographica as a professional tool. Tomorrow, I'm going to come and I'm going to talk about guidelines. Guidelines set by the Institute for Psychology of Creativity. This is the institute that Dr. Pavel Piskarev founded, and this is the institute that awards the certifications in the basics course or whatever certified course you're taking in Neurographic, okay? So I will be leading a session where I will talk about the rights, officially the rights, the guidelines within using Neurographica as a specialist, okay? So welcome to join me tomorrow. Tomorrow, God willing, the internet will be fine. So welcome to join me at 1 o'clock, as I will tell you what the specialist can do and what the specialist maybe should not be doing. I will tell you the difference between having just a certification as a basic specialist and then having a certification as a specialist. What are your rights? How you will be able to use it, okay? Actually legal rights, okay? What I'm gonna tell you is legal terms, okay? It's a paper that actually the specialists sign before they're awarded the certification that they legally bind themselves to use the Neurographica within a correct in a correct manner within their sessions. Okay, and yes, I will discuss when specialists can give open sessions. Yes, just like I do the Neurotree, by the way. A lot of times, if you ever seen a Neurotree, it's done by a specialist in Neurographica. Okay, it will be, you will have the right to lead open sessions. I will tell you which algorithms tomorrow. So join me tomorrow. Today, before I let you go, we have 3 more minutes. I'm inviting you to laugh with me. We always remember I incorporate the laughter yoga in my sessions. I'm inviting you to laugh for a minute, maybe more. It's a beautiful, beautiful practice. It will allow you to open up your energy, to fill up your aura with a beautiful laughter energy. Welcome to join me. Welcome to see how laughter can benefit your life, even if you laugh a little bit. And yes, later on, not this week, not next week, but in some further weeks, we'll be bringing laughter is also an amazing tool to use within your sessions, okay? For now, just join me and laugh your way. Bring happiness and joy into your life by laughing, okay? Just gonna turn on timer for a minute. Excellent, ready, set, go, let's go. If you can't laugh yet, you can just do a forced laughter like this. After the laughter, we'll sit. We sit with a gratitude gesture. That's what I'm inviting you to do. Deep breathing in and slowly breathing out. As you are inhaling and infusing yourself with this amazing, beautiful energy of laughter that you just brought into the world. And you bring it within your aura. You shared it with me. Appreciate that. Whether you're watching me live or whether you're watching me on a YouTube video, you're feeling your life with laughter that brings joy, that brings happiness. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for all your hearts and love. I appreciate it. I'm wishing you a beautiful day or night ahead. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, 1 p.m. We're going to talk about what rights you have as a specialist. Welcome, welcome, Zulika. Yes, tomorrow we will be discussing what can you do as a specialist? What are you, what open sessions and master classes you will be allowed to use and lead. Okay, thank you for joining me. Goodbye, goodbye.